Hey everyone, today I thought it would be fun to make a impossible card out of a hexagon shape. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like. Now let's go ahead and get started on making the card. Okay, if you're doing this in Design Space, go ahead and go to Shapes and pull a hexagon up, and you want the width to be 4.644 and the height to be at 4.021. Okay, and on everything on here is going to be cut lines for if you're making this in Design Space, except for our center, and that's going to be a score line. So we have a box that if we're doing it by hand at home, we're going to need it to measure 4 5/8 by 4. And the first thing I want to lay down for our score lines is our center line. So let's go ahead and get that one put in. It is 4 5/8 of an inch long, and we're going to come all the way down on our square and find 2 inches and score it all the way across. Okay, and then what we're going to do is go to our lines. So once we draw our first line, which is 2 3/8 of an inch long, we're going to go ahead and measure out 2 3/8 of an inch. So it's 2 3/8 and draw our line. Then to get our second line, we're going to go from the end of our first line we drew here, and then we're going to go all the way to our score line in the middle for 2 3/8 of an inch long. And then we're going to draw that line, and so on and so forth all the way around until we have our hexagon. Okay, so now we're going to work on our score lines now that we've got our hexagon made. And what we're going to do is go up and find 1 3/8 of an inch. And this is going to be 2 inches long, which is to our score line that we've already scored. So let's find 2 3/8 of an inch. I'm sorry, 1 3/8 of an inch, and score it all the way down to the score line. So then we'll move on to our second score line. We're going to place it at 3 1/4 of an inch. So we'll go up, find 3 1/4, and we're going to score it down to our score line, which is 2 inches long. And then our next line we're going to go to is this center line right here. It's also 2 inches long, and we're going to go up and find 2 1/4. Once we find that, we're going to go on the side and find 2, and then score it all the way down. And then our last line is right here. It is 1 7/8 of an inch long, and we already have these 2 lines, so all we need to do is go down and find 1 inch and mark it between these 2 lines. And in Design Space, you're going to position the X at 1 3/8 of an inch and the Y at 1. Okay, we have that done, so let's go ahead and cut it out. And just a reminder, but in Design Space, all of these lines are cut lines except for our middle line that's on that's at the 2 inch mark here. That's your only score line you have. So what we're going to do is take our scissors and cut on the red lines, and then we have a nice little hexagon. Okay, Then what we're going to do is cut this line all the way up to our center score line and stop. Our next cut line is we're going to cut here and here. And we're just cutting down to our middle score line. And then our last one is the line right in the middle. Make sure you don't have your legs in the way. We don't cut them off. And then we should have something that looks like this right here. And we're gonna need 2 of these. One I'm cutting out in just regular paper, and then one I'm gonna cut out in designer paper. And what I'm gonna do is take it apart and lay it on top of this, and I'll show y'all that in a minute. So we'll need 2 of these. And then our next thing that we need is 2 boxes. This first one is 3 by 2.5, and this one is 2 3/4 by 2 1/4. And I just rounded my corners on those. And the other thing that we'll need is 2 of these rectangles, and they are 2 1/4 by 7/8 of an inch. And these I just rounded off and cut off the end on it. And that's it, guys, whatever we're going to decorate it with. So let's go ahead and get moving on our card. So I have our piece here. We'll go ahead and score our score lines. Once we have them all scored, the only other thing we're going to do is you flip one back like so. And then we can take and put these on and trim them up if they need to be trimmed. And I feel like I need to snip a little because I didn't take enough off. I'm gonna cut a little here and a little there. There you go, and I'm good with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue these down. Now that we have those glued down, it should be looking like so. Now we can glue our smaller card on top. Before you glue your rectangles onto your centerpiece, you want to make sure you have your decoration on. It would probably be a little bit easier to do it that way. Okay, so we have that. So I'm going to go ahead and go decorate my card, and I'll meet y'all back here in just a little bit. Alright, I've got mine finished. So what I'm going to do is take my card and I'm going to put some glue on it, and I'm going to set it on the back of the card. that's what it's looking like. And then the only other thing I'm gonna do is with my little card, I'm gonna set this here. I'm gonna glue it on one of the sides. It doesn't matter which. Like so. And then I made this one for the back, just for some cute decoration. And I'm just gonna choose a side to glue it on. And that's it, guys. Isn't that so simple? And I've done all kinds of these. You can put, I've done one with the popcorn, a bucket of popcorn on it. I was trying to look for some of the cards I've previously made and couldn't find any. But you can do all kinds of cute things. Now, to mail it in the envelope, you can either lay it down like so, and then when they get it, they can just pop it back up. Or you can lay it back down like this and put it in the envelope. Isn't that the cutest little thing? I just love it. Thanks for crafting with me, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.